everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Hey guys, it's going to be a pretty quick video today, but I have a couple things that I really wanted to talk to you about. Before I start, this is cryptoinfluencers.com is my home base. So if you're not signed up here, just do. It's free for this for my normal stuff, and then this is where the paid channel is. And then Wednesday at 12:30 Mountain Time, we do live streams. So join us on Wednesday. Okay. All right. Let's talk about something that we don't talk a lot about. This is the S&P. On the weekly, so we're about to close the weekly chart in 12 minutes, and we have, at least I have been bullish on the S&P ever since we broke out of this line. And last week we barely snuck in and we barely closed above this line. This week is much higher. And I want to talk to you just a brief minute about what I expect to happen. I still expect the S&P to continue on upwards, and it's not because there's no fear. There's no, the banking crisis is pretty huge. There's problems with our economy. There's all kinds of things, but when I look at this chart, it is bullish. And the thing is that now that we've got this banking crisis situation, and we know that money is now being printed, the Fed is not going to be able to get a handle on inflation like everyone thinks. That's my opinion. I don't think they will. And I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. This is the odds of the interest rate increasing next time. Right now, 87% of the people think that the rates will stay exactly the same, that there won't be any more rate increases. The rate increases will curb inflation, but they will continue to exacerbate the banking crisis. So I kind of feel like the Fed's hands are tied. If they keep raising interest rates, they're going to have a lot more printing and a lot more bailouts to do. So we are probably stuck with higher inflation for a while. Now, there's been a lot of speculation that a lot of the policies that are out there will probably, resolve some of this all by itself, and time heals a lot of things. But I do not think that there will be policies in place that will be pushing down the S&P. And if inflation continues, S&P will inflate with inflation. That's how that's going to play out. So between these two things, we're probably not getting much more down pressure on Bitcoin from the broad markets, and so nothing really will stop us in our tracks. The other thing is Bitcoin is showing crazy bullishness. The chart itself, we are about to close this in 2 days on the weekly, and we have a confirmation candle above all of our resistance. It is so bullish, it's unbelievable. And so if the S&P doesn't stand in the way, and if the banking crisis brings more attention and more interest to Bitcoin, we are definitely in a pretty good spot. This market is absolutely amazing. Just a couple of little nuances that I've been noticing. Let me just go to Binance just so we can get kind of a little bit more granular. And I'm going to the daily. There is a case that we're starting to cool off a little bit, and that we're starting to round off, and we'll probably come back for some support. But if the momentum in the rest of the market and other things continue, I don't see why we wouldn't have a pretty strong weekend. Part of the reason is that there's very little weakness here. In fact, whenever we have a candle that looks like this, with a nice long tail, and then it's immediately bought up the next candle. The market's not ready to let this go. And today it was a pretty red day. You know, we should recoil a bit from this huge candle that we printed yesterday. We've put in, you know, $1,000 candle, and now today we kind of hit a low, but we've been climbing, and you can see if we're above the midpoint on this candle, we're still looking for more upside. This is a sign of a continuation. So Bitcoin just might continue over the weekend, and on the weekly, as long as we don't get a doji candle, I'm okay with a small red or a small green. I don't want to close exactly at 28,000, but chances are we're probably going to have a little bit more momentum into close. And then the other thing I was noticing on Ethereum, and I was pointing this out this morning, look at these candle bodies. So it's very, very clear that there's resistance here that we've broken, and now we're consolidating above resistance, which is phenomenal. This is definitely bullish. Well, look what we've done over the past few days. We have a trading range that is so tight. It's so tight. Like this entire thing. I won't really draw it, but there's a range between about 1800 and 2735 or 1735. It is very, very unusual to have candle bodies that are this large that stay this tightly in a range. So we have, there's a fair amount of indecision. Big candles doing this is definitely indecision, but the momentum is to the upside, and our downside has been capped, and our upside is slowly breaking upwards. And today's candle, even though it's red, we will likely close above the halfway point. In fact, anything higher than the very low of 1735 actually would be pretty bullish. So we have this tiny little nuance happening in the daily on Ethereum, and honestly, from this structure, I'm pretty optimistic that we're gonna have a pretty nice weekend. I know markets are thinner and people can move prices a lot further, so if someone decides they want to move the market, they can. But if I'm going just from the structure of this, I am waiting for a breakout to 2000. And we are building pressure. We're coiling up for a pressure, and it looks like the pressure is being, it's leaking out the top. So this could be, you know, one of our last candles that gets us to, like, if we get to the midpoint here and then we have another day that pulls us to the top, we could easily break out. So there's some cool stuff happening right here in the charts. I know Bitcoin's due for a pullback, and so far Ethereum is following Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin dominance is growing, but Ethereum's chart shows more stability than Bitcoin's does. Ethereum's looks like it's ready to break up. Bitcoin's looks like it's about ready to come down. So Ethereum might get outvoted with Bitcoin, but I'm really feeling optimistic about both of these. Bitcoin dominance is kind of taking over right now. Bitcoin dominance has struggled on our first line. This was the first place where we expected some sort of resistance, and it is in full display. We are definitely struggling with this line. So I'm watching carefully to see if we end up closing above about 47.8% or below 47.14. This will definitely give us a short-term indication of which between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which one's going to show more strength. The fact that we're this high means that it would not surprise me if we did come back down. So I'm happy to have a nice Ethereum position right now. Just being patient, waiting for this market to come around. So yeah, but today it has been an interesting morning because the MEXC global close, MEXC is at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. So since this morning, Bitcoin's down 0.9% and Ethereum's only down 0.3%. So Ethereum is gaining strength, and we'll see if that trend continues into the weekend or not. But yeah, so I'm not sure. I haven't had a very good track record of doing videos on Saturdays, and I don't do anything Sundays. So this might be it for the weekend. I won't make any promises, but there's some great things happening, and I'm super excited. If you know, there can be ups and downs, I don't have a investment horizon of even 1 or 2 weeks. We're talking months and years. And so we might have a red week here and there, but on the whole, our trend should be up from here. So that's it for me. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and we will catch you back Monday. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.